Most girls think that to be noticed, you need to be loud. Loud outfits, loud opinions, loud presence. And then there's Alexandra Saint Mleux, a girl who barely speaks in public, rarely gives interviews, posts almost nothing personal online, and still became the woman next to one of the most wanted men in Formula One. People literally call her Miss Mute on the internet. They joke about how she never talks, how she's just there, quietly existing. And yet, she's the one that ended up as Mrs. Leclerc in a vintage Ferrari in Monaco in a wedding dress. So clearly, something is going on here that the loud side of the internet hasn't understood yet. By the end of this video, you're going to see exactly why a woman like Alexandra is so confusing to people, and why that's her power, what her silence signals, what her style actually says, and what you can steal from her soft power without copying her life. Let's talk. If you're new here, welcome to Intemporelle. I'm Clara. Here we talk about psychology, elegance, soft power, standards, and how to build a life that actually feels intentional, not chaotic. If you like this kind of long, clever breakdown, you can also join the Intemporelle Substack. It's free, and I send one letter a week with deeper thoughts I don't share anywhere else. The link is below if that feels like your vibe. All right, let's talk about Alexandra. So, quick context in case you're not very deep into F1 TikTok. Alexandra Saint Mleux, now Alexandra Leclerc, is not some random girl who got lucky on the grid. She's a French-Italian girl with Mexican roots, an art history graduate from École du Louvre who's been orbiting the art world for a while. Auctions, exhibitions, Monaco Art Week, all of it. She even runs an art-focused Instagram where she posts paintings, galleries, and fair shots instead of filming every coffee and every argument. So the instinct to curate, not overshare, was there before the paddock. Most people met her when she started appearing next to Charles Leclerc. Wimbledon, races, tunnel walks in Monaco, NBA games. Then came the ring, the civil wedding in Monaco, the vintage Ferrari, the dress, the whole cinematic moment. So yes, she's beautiful, and yes, she's with one of the most wanted men in F1. But that's not why the internet can't stop talking about her. People are obsessed because she doesn't play the game the way most online girls do, and that's where her soft power really starts. We're living in a moment where being a public woman almost comes with a script. You talk a lot on stories. You overshare your relationships, fights, therapy, everything. You write long emotional captions about every little thing. You build a personal brand around your personality. Alexandra doesn't do that. She posts very little about her private life. She rarely speaks on camera. She doesn't give long emotional monologues. Most of what we know about her comes from other people. Paparazzi shots, race weekends, fashion articles, fan edits. So the internet splits into two teams. One side, she's so elegant, quiet luxury, soft girl, love her. The other side, why is everyone obsessed? Her style is basic, she never talks, what's the hype? I've even seen people online jokingly call her Miss Mute because she barely ever speaks in public. But honestly, that mute energy is part of the fascination because we're not used to women being visible but not constantly performing. She shows up, she sits quietly, she looks put together. She's just there, calm, observing, not auditioning. And the internet doesn't know what to do with a girl who has visibility but refuses to turn herself into content. So let's break down what's actually happening here, because it's not just luck or pretty privilege. There's a lot of psychology in this. Here's the thing. Quiet women make people uncomfortable because they create space. Space for you to project. Space for you to guess. Space for your own insecurities to echo a little louder. When someone talks nonstop, overshares, explains everything, you don't have to think. You just consume. When someone is selective and quiet, your brain starts asking, what is she thinking? Is she judging me? Does she like me? Why doesn't she talk more? That's why so many people online hate watch her. They don't actually know her. What they hate is the feeling of not having access. And that's a pattern. Not just with Alexandra. Think of women like Angelina Jolie in interviews, or even someone like Alexa Demi. They're not the ones screaming to be understood. They're mostly still, calm, minimal with their words. People find that mysterious, intimidating, cold, or magnetic, depending on their own level of security. Silence is a mirror. A lot of people don't like what they see in it. So when the internet calls her Miss Mute as a joke, what they're really saying is, she's not performing enough for us. And that bothers us more than we want to admit. And honestly, I think that's exactly why we need to talk about her. Okay, Let's talk about the fun part for a second, the clothes. Because Alexandra's not that quiet beige, minimal, I only wear 3 colors type. She's visually present. If you actually watch Formula One, you start to notice a pattern with her looks. She plays with color, reds, blues, prints, little pops that stand out against the Ferrari garage, shapes, cutouts, bows, halter necklines, Cheongsam-inspired dresses in Shanghai, all that fun, feminine architecture, references, that blue dress at the Monaco Red Cross ball, clearly inspired by Grace Kelly in To Catch a Thief. Like, she knew exactly what she was doing there. It's not minimal, quiet luxury. It's curated visibility. She dresses like someone who understands the deal. If you're walking into a paddock where every shot might end up on TikTok, you might as well control the image. And I find that interesting because her style is feminine without being infantilized, colorful without being clownish, accessible enough. A lot of her pieces are from brands people can actually buy, but still aspirational. It's very, I know you're looking, so here's something pretty to look at. And honestly, that's one of the reasons she became such a strong reference so fast. In a sport where the cameras loved the girlfriends almost as much as the drivers, she understood that fashion is soft power. By the way, if you love this kind of breakdown, style, psychology, soft power, all mixed together, I talk about it every week on the Intemporelle Substack. When you sign up, you also get a planner as a little welcome gift, and it's basically where I can go even deeper than YouTube without worrying about the algorithm. But back to her. The point is, Alexandra isn't just pretty outfits. She built a visual language, bows, color, old Hollywood nods, race weekend fun. And people read that, even if they don't know they're reading it. And I'm actually curious, what's your honest take on her style? Do you see it as genuinely iconic or a little too costume for race weekend? I love reading different takes on this, and sometimes I even highlight my favorite comments inside the Intemporelle Substack letters. So if you have thoughts, leave them here. Now, let's add another layer. Most women who date very famous men end up absorbed into his storyline. Ex's girlfriend, ex's wife, ex's ex. The relationship becomes their main personality online. With Alexandra, you can almost feel this quiet refusal to turn her entire identity into Charles's girlfriend. She shows up, supports him, attends races, but she doesn't sit there vlogging their entire life, crying on camera when he gets a DNF, posting every dinner, every hotel, every morning routine. From the outside, it feels like, yes, I love this man, but I still have my own inner world, my work, my brain, my interests. And honestly, in the long run, that's one of the healthiest things a woman can do in a high-profile relationship. Keep a separate internal life. Keep some distance between me and us. Because if the relationship ends, or the internet turns on him, or fame shifts, a woman who built her entire identity on being his ends up emotionally homeless. A woman who stayed anchored in her own world, she has something to fall back into. We don't know what their private dynamic is like, obviously, but the public posture she holds is a great reminder. You can support a man deeply without dissolving into his brand. You can be present without being constantly exposed. That's soft power. Okay, now let's talk about the part that people really don't want to hear. When a woman is loud, chaotic, always talking, people find her annoying but predictable. You know exactly what she thinks, what she's doing, what she ate for breakfast. When a woman is quiet, selective, and emotionally stable, people get weirdly angry because now they have to sit with their own thoughts. So you start seeing the usual comments. She doesn't even do anything. She's just pretty. What's the big deal? But if you look closely, those comments say a lot more about the commenter than about her. What they really mean is, she's not performing enough for my entertainment, and that makes me uncomfortable. We live in a culture that forces women to perform everything. Perform trauma, perform empowerment, perform relatability. A girl who just refuses, who chooses to be normal, quiet, private, she's almost offensive to the algorithm. And the funniest part is, for all the Miss Mute jokes and she does nothing threads, she's the one who ended up in the vintage Ferrari in the dress with the ring. So maybe the question isn't, why do people like her so much? Maybe the real question is, why does a calm, private woman trigger so many people who claim they don't care? So, okay, let's be practical. What can you actually take from her without copying her life, her face, or her man? Here's what I think smart girls can steal. 1, selective presence. You don't need to disappear. You just need to stop being constantly available. Choose where you show up. Choose what you post. Choose who deserves explanations. 2, calm body language. Watch clips of her at races. She's not performing for the cameras. Her posture is calm. Her movements are small. She's not doing main character TikTok. Calm body language reads as security, not boredom. 3. Style coherence. You don't need to dress like her, but you can build your own clear visual language. Certain colors, silhouettes, textures that feel like you. When you repeat those over time, people start to see you as put together, even when you're in something simple. 4. Private inner world. You are allowed to keep parts of your life offline, your relationship, your family, your thoughts that aren't ready yet. Private doesn't mean fake. Private means protected. And 5. No rush to prove. She's not out there trying to prove she's smart enough, interesting enough, feminist enough, woke enough, whatever. A woman who is quietly confident in herself doesn't obsess over convincing strangers. I'm honestly curious, which one of these do you feel like you're already good at? And which one feels like your weak spot right now? Because everyone thinks it's just luck, but there's a lot of behavior here you can actually practice. And just to say this out loud, if watching girls like Alexandra makes you painfully aware of how messy your own life feels in the background, your routines, your room, your habits, your mood, that's literally why I created the Reset Blueprint. Not as some cute aesthetic glow-up challenge, but as a clean 21-day reset, where your standards stop living only in your head and finally get a real structure. Short daily chapters, one clear focus per day, and a Notion planner where your goals, habits, meals, workouts, glow rituals, all of it, lives in one place instead of 10 different apps and random notes. So if you're in that phase where you don't want more inspiration, you want your life to quietly catch up to your taste, you'll get it. It's linked below. Now, let me be very clear about one thing, because this is important. Being quiet is powerful when it's a choice. It's not powerful when it's imposed. If a woman is scared to speak, walking on eggshells, silenced in her relationship or her family, that is not soft power. That's control. Soft power is, I can speak, but I don't need to fill every silence. I can post everything, but I choose not to. I can clap back, but I don't waste energy on every comment. From what we see publicly, Alexandra gives off the energy of someone who could play the game harder. She's beautiful, she's visible, she has an audience, but simply doesn't care to. And that's what makes it attractive. Because in a world where everyone is desperate for attention, a woman who's not chasing it signals, I have something more solid holding my life together than strangers' opinions. That's the real flex. In the end, this is not about saying, Alexandra is perfect and everyone should be like her. It's about using her as a mirror. Her story reveals a few things about us, how uncomfortable we are with women who don't overshare, how quickly we reduce a woman to just pretty when we don't understand her, how addicted we are to noise, so much that calm feels suspicious. Alexandra is just one example in a very specific world, F1, Monaco, fashion, privilege. But the patterns around her, they show up everywhere. Quiet girl at school who everyone underestimates, the coworker who isn't loud in meetings but somehow always gets results, with the friend who doesn't post a lot but every time she does something it actually matters. That's soft power, that's standards, and that's selectiveness. So now I'm genuinely curious. Do you resonate more with the loud, expressive archetype or with the quiet, observant one? And after seeing the Alexandra effect, does it make you want to pull back a little, choose your presence more carefully, and maybe stop explaining yourself so much? Tell me in the comments. I really want to know how you see her now. If this kind of analysis makes you think differently about how women move through the world, you can subscribe to Intemporelle here on YouTube. And if you want to go deeper, the newsletter Substack is linked below. We'll keep talking about soft power, standards, elegance, and all the little things nobody explains, but actually shape your whole life. I'll see you in the next one.